Chandragupta Thenuwara needs no introduction. I'm sure you're all familiar with his work. He is, I will say, trained as a painter, but one of the most, an artist who works in many media, and you'll see that in today's work as well. And also a dedicated teacher. I think without sort of further ado, Thenu, can you tell us a little bit about this work titled Beautification In?
Thank you very much, and to Lunuganga, and so inviting me here. That's a great privilege to do work for Lunuganga as a gift to Jeffrey. I did an exhibition called Beautification to respond to that period. Just after the war, the new project came under the patronage of previous government, which now came to power again. So then that time they started the eviction and erasing monuments, nothing happened in Sri Lanka like bad things, only good things will remain. So they started the beautification in Colombo, Jaffna, Batikalo, everywhere you go, you see the walking paths, horizontal, vertical lines. So for my critique for that, it was a vertical and horizontal line in a public space. So it's organized our minds to vertical and horizontal thinking patterns only. Because always political atmosphere giving me all the motives to work on. So I love parody, and so I'm playing with those, and I'm transforming it to the visual kind of motives and images, and kind of playing with that, and questioning. That questioning process is my kind of invitation to the viewers, so they can accept it or reject it, but they have to engage before they reject it or accept it. That's a kind of visual invitation. So you can see beautiful motifs, lotuses, buds, lotus, and lotus leaves, and those are the beautiful patterns. But you can see some other elements also, thorns, weapons, and raping women, some kind of dead bodies, and dagaba and tanks. This is the first version, that means original drawings, the facsimile of original drawings here now. I wanted to start last December, finish it, but unfortunate things happened when the first version of the original bricks collapsed due to the temperature issues and color and firing techniques and things. I did more than 134 bricks, and everything collapsed, it's broken. And so then later I decided not to patch those works and redo again, Then I used another technique, that means very slow technique. So first copy I lost. This is the second copy of lost drawings. That is, it has a journey also. That is why it's transferring same drawing to different kind of some new texture and kind of thing. So it's a very tedious process, and you can produce only 3 bricks per day only. So that is why long period, nearly 2 years.
I mean, the process of working on a work like this for 2 years was, I think, also a gift to us to be able to work in a long format like that. And thank you for also speaking about, the relationship between copies and the translation of media, which is, I think, a very key part of your practice. I did want to ask you to also speak a little bit. You mentioned the role of memory and trace, which is very important in your work. And I should say that this location, what used to be here, for those of you who've been to the garden, you would know, we had one of the original Bentota Beach Hotel tables that, as Channa said, Jeffrey Bawa rescued during one of the renovations. And that table has been here since the inception of Cinnamon Hill, which used to be an artist studio space before it became a sort of apartment suite that Jeffrey would rent out. And that table is now in need of conservation, so it had to be moved. But you can see some of the traces, for those of you who remember, of the palm fronds on the diagonals. And in that, I think it's responding to what was here. But if the work in the corner then, as we walk through, we'll see more of these traces that are bringing back stories. And I was just wondering if you could tell us a little bit about that, Thenu.
Those bricks, strategy is here, it's a camouflaging things. You see first bricks, then you see the drawings, you see those images, might be. When you display the drawings, it's artwork. But here it looks like not artwork, but it's a part of a building or part of our environment. It looks like a roots, but if you closely look, you can see the bones. It's from the Matale, might be Chemmani, or might be the Puttalam. So we have a lot of mass graves, uncovered, again covered, and camouflage. So that is why I want to just to remind those kind of things. So it's sometimes you can see the barbed wire transform into the natural elements. In the postmodern period, I still love manual labor. So I don't say goodbye to my manual labor. Even though sometimes Shairi asks, shall we help you, and traced? No, I said, no, I have to do it. So whatever pain you take, that's my pleasure.